So last week we reacted to a video. I believe his son name is Trae Taylor was committing to college, and he did like a little trick of the hat. Said he was going to one school, flipped it, ended up going to another school. We react to it. JB and I both disagree with how he did it. And his father is here right now. I believe is it Junior? Or I'm respecting him. Is it Junior or JR?
Probably JR.
It might be probably JR, and he's on to defend his son, defend the setup situation. So let's bring him in.
JR, is it JR?
It's JR. Yep, it's JR.
Good deal, man.
How you doing?
Hey, what's up, brother?
Good,
hey, listen. This is not something we ain't seen before, right, Smitty? So I just want to give context. We've seen this hat thing before. It wasn't the first time we've ever seen it. But look, you reached out to me. You had obviously a disagreement with what we had, and I'm all for it. I actually appreciate you joining us. And it's not very often that two cats can disagree and have a cat willing to come on the show and etc. So I actually appreciate it. It doesn't matter if we disagree or not. I'm here for it. And you can give your side of the story, which I'm all for, because I think we're trying to be real. And I actually thank you for jumping on. So go ahead and have at it. You can talk about whatever you disagree with what we said and vice versa, and give your side. I know you explained a little bit of a different context to what your side is with your son headed to Nebraska, by the way, right?
Correct, yes.
So go ahead, brother.
All right, so my big thing is, and I'm just going to ask Mr. Smitty, I don't know, do you have any kids at all?
I don't.
You don't? Okay. And we know Coach JB, he has his daughter and everything. So what I'm going to say about this is my family didn't disagree with your guys' take on, man, that wasn't a good look. Throwing the hat, doing all, no one disagreed with that. Which brings me to my point. The whole conversation about that then was about how I'm a bitch, his mother's a bitch, all this other stuff, to the point, Coach JB, you even said at one point, I hate white mothers because of this situation. And the whole situation from our standpoint was, and everybody's saying, well, you all knew it was happening. You all knew it was happening. You had the stuff on. Yes, we had the stuff on, assuming that my son was getting ready to commit to Nebraska. So we had all Nebraska stuff on. We had discussed the hat situation. He was told earlier, no, don't throw the hat, don't do all that, by his mother. Some things had happened, talking about it. He ended up doing it, but we were under the assumption that he was coming in, he was going to commit to Nebraska. So when he stood up, if you look at everybody's faces, we were all kind of shocked, like, wait, I don't have Illinois stuff on. What's going on here, right? So we're doing as this goes through and Trae then switches over, you see us all then kind of take a deep breath and be like, oh, okay, we are going to Nebraska.
Hey, JR, not to cut you off, explain who's on this panel here.
Okay, on this panel is his quarterback coach. To my right, or to the far left, it's me, his quarterback coach out of Aduli. It's me, his mother, and then his head coach, Coach McKee, and then kids behind him that have busted their butts with him, 5 a.m. workouts and things like that. So
and then teammates, is that teammates or your other kids, or
they're teammates that I've trained, I've coached them since they were 5 years old, 6 years old.
Okay.
So that's how long this group has been together. When we got done with that, and my take on it is, everybody says, well, these kids are allowed to do this. These kids are not taught things. These kids, don't have good parenting. That's not the case. This happened. I allowed my son to have his moment because it was his moment. Now let's not get that twisted. He earned that. That whole, right. Oh, they gave him. No, he earned that. That boy went to over 20 camps last year to earn each one of those camps or each one of those offers. And my big thing is with this is, if you were to go talk to Illinois, if you were to go talk to Michigan, Notre Dame, Purdue, not one person would say that kid is disrespectful. That act that he did was disrespectful. But could you find anything else on the internet or anything showing this kid being disrespectful? No, he had a moment. He had a moment. And as a parent, I let him have his moment because it was his moment. But pulled him to a side right away and said, hey, bro, that wasn't good. That didn't look good. We got to fix this. He then told me, he's like, Dad, I was just trying to have fun with the with the Nebraska fan base. I was just trying to like engage with them a little bit. And I said, yeah, but there's a whole nother fan base that you involved that had nothing to do with this. He immediately said, oh shit, I need to fix this. He then wrote an apology. He called the coach first off. The first thing he did was let me call Coach Art. Called him right away. He called guys that are at Illinois right away. He then posted the message at the end of, hey, I apologize. Like that was not the intent. So he has the coaching, he has the parenting behind him to do it. My issue taken with that was the man that was up there, Coach McKee, who you guys pointed out, one of the greatest men, coaches. One of his rules is you get 3 detentions, you get kicked off the team. And he has kicked kids off for 3 detentions because that's the standard that he has. All right. So that my take is it wasn't defending Trae's actions because we all agree that wasn't the best thing for him. He shouldn't have been doing that. Like I wouldn't have done it. We'd have preferred him not to do it, but he did it. And my thing is, as parents now, is let's go fix what you did. Let's call out what you did and fix it. And that's what parenting is. So for people to say, oh, it's about the parents, the home raising, so parents are, they make mistakes. We come back, we help them through their mistakes, and then they grow from that. And I guarantee you will not see Trae make that same mistake ever again.
So maybe I'll go real quick. Here's you sound very involved in your kid's life. You sound very involved in the football community in total. So commend you on that. Here's the question I have. And let me just be clear. I got a white mama. That's shit clear. Joking on this show. We joke on the show fucking around. And I did that because Smitty and I were just talking about, black sons with white mamas. We were talking about it on a different topic and we were fucking around. So that's all it was. I got a black daughter, by the way. So anyway, that was all jokes. Then when I think I said was, this is a bitch made move. I don't know you or your wife personally, so I wouldn't say you're bitches, but I just want to be clarify what we were talking about as a topic. So here's my issue. You came out earlier. You said your mother told him blah, 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 what to do, X, Y, Z.
Correct.
So basically he disobeyed you both. Correct. Is what you're saying.
Correct.
Yeah. So here's the issue with the coach I have and the whole situation. We could say up here till we're blue in the face, like the coach is a great dude, your kid's a great kid. I get all that. That's fine. I don't hold grudges over kids. I blame the adults in the room before I ever judge a kid. I coached on a show called Last Chance U. So obviously the motherfucker got second chances. I'm all for him. The issue I have is I never had a motherfucking kid do that. And you can tell me I'm as great as I can be as a coach. But guess what? The coach allowed that shit right there. Like, that's the bottom line. Now, I'm going to look at it. I ain't never seen no kid would have ever got on my podium next to me sitting on the motherfucking stand and did that shit. So you can say he's a good coach and a good dude, but I'm called bullshit. Because at the end of the day, you coach it or allow it. Mm-hmm. And you coach it in the household or you allow it on the football field. Something was allowed there. And that's all I'm saying.
But, Coach, how was it allowed when nobody knew it was taking place? So, remember, we're at a school.
No, I'm not blaming. I'm just telling you it happened, though.
And I'm saying, but you're saying it happened. And I'm saying, so, Coach, none of your kids ever did anything wrong that you didn't have to then go back and correct?
Not at all.
And that's my thing. You have to then go back and correct it. Like, and so what I'm saying is we didn't know. No one knew. No one knew except for Trae Taylor himself.
No, I feel you. Here's my point, though. Like, that kid, my point is this, not fearing you as a father that you're going to put hands on them. Same way with me as my kids. My kids feared letting me down more than fear physicality. I never put a hand on a kid ever. And I never was going to, I didn't want to put no fear into no kid. It's
like fear, like respect. It's like fear, like,
I feel like the kid should have never did that to you as his pops, his moms, or that coach for having got him the scholarship, or at least had a big hand in it with you to get the kid a scholarship. And then he goes up there and don't have a fear at all that he's going to do something like that. I just have that to my issue. That's all.
And you have never, neither one of you have disobeyed your parents.
Of course we have. nobody's perfect. Nobody's perfect.
Yeah, I'm not saying I'm not holding him to
we're
perfect.
talking. And again, for clarity, we ain't saying he's a bad kid. Let's be very clear. We're talking about this one singular action.
No, that was what was implied. Coach JB implied you did call us bitches. Go back and look at it. You called us bitches. You said you hated white mothers. And again, and here's my thing. You were joking, correct? Those are jokes to you, correct?
Yep.
It offended me. It offended our family. It offended a lot of people who saw it because everybody's like, white mothers, what's that have to do? It offended a lot of people. And you thought it was a joke, and you're a grown man, Coach. Trae was doing something that he thought was a joke. It offended some people. So what did he do? He apologized like a man. Coach, you still haven't apologized. You just said it was a joke. And leave it
I don't apologize. I don't apologize. I kind of, what I say is I can't go, what do you want me to do? Go back and say that wasn't me? Because that was me. That was 1,000% me. That's why I don't apologize. And I have a history of it. Nothing against you. Yeah. I just have a history of it. I can't change who I am. That's who I am. So here's the issue. Here's the issue. The kid, to do that is the issue I have. The issue that I have is it's a smack in the face to everybody that's ever coached it or played the game. And you know this better than your son knows it because you've already gone through this. To do that in front of that audience and made a viral video, and obviously people are talking about you and your son now, and it's moving around, moving the needle on the internet. Not only is it a slap in the face to Brett Bielema in Illinois, but it's a slap in the face to every kid that's ever coached or had to struggle to get a scholarship offer to just say, oh, fuck, throw that shit away. That's the issue. It ain't nothing personal versus you, your kid, nothing. It's just the fact of the whole totality, the game itself got smacked in the face. That's all.
Can I ask you a question? Why is it a smack in Coach Bielema's face? I guarantee Coach Bielema didn't even watch it because he had known weeks before that Trae wasn't going.
What do you mean? The whole world saw it.
But what I'm saying is, I bet Coach Bielema wasn't sitting there watching Trae's commitment.
I wouldn't bet so. I know.
He probably was sitting around watching, but just like social media, like we wasn't sitting around watching it. It just popped up on our feed. Like, we didn't know who your son was before that clip. So it just popped up though. And that leads me to my next thing, because we talk about, and again, Coach, I'm gonna go back to, I'm not saying you have to be different or you have to change who you are, but when Trae realized he as a man growing up, when he realized, oh, I offended someone, let me go fix this. Coach, you just said, I'm not apologizing. I don't care if I offended you or not. I'm not apologizing. To me, for Trae to be 16 and to say, dang, I made a mistake, let me go apologize to this. For him to do that, that's a kid that's being raised the right way. Period. And that's not something we forced on him.
No disagreement. I agree with you. Here's the issue.
Correct.
As you should. He's 16. That's the problem. We're supposed to teach our youngsters now to be grown men. And then when they're my age, guess what? They have an option to say, I don't want to apologize, or I do, because that's who I am. That's how I was raised. So at the end of the day, I know what my consequences are, right? I got to face them as a grown-up. So I got to go over here. To me, you're more focused on me apologizing to you. So over the act itself, that's my. Now I'm not saying you're not. And listen, I commend you. I think you're attacking it the right way with your kid. I totally do. I'm just saying. I think it's more. You're more. I think it's an embarrassing moment for the family, which I did not intend to do for you and your family. That's not number one. That's not what I do. Obviously, I think you know enough about me that that's not my goal in life. Number two, I love to see kids succeed, not fail. That's number one. I never wish the demise of any kid. And I'm all for teaching and teachable moments for our youngsters. And I think you're making that point. But number one, number two, the kid, though, if you're telling me that Bielema, if your kid, knock on wood, I hope he don't, but let's say enters the portal, if you think Bielema's calling him, you're out of your mind. I know Bielema too well, dog.
We know, Coach. We sit down and sat down with him many a times, had many a conversations. And when I tell you hours upon hours of conversations with that man, so we understand too. And trust me, it was told to Trae. You understand? You just burned a bridge. Period. Right. You understand that. You understand, Trae. You just lost some NIL money in Illinois because of this, and he did because of this. He learned a different kind of a lesson than most 16-year-olds have to. And what
But
I'm
JR,
saying is,
do you think it was just Bielema offended or the rest of the country? Because if I'm Bielema, I'm gonna because listen, dog. I'm gonna be honest with you. You know how folks are, and I'm not gonna make this a race thing, but I know how it is, and that's why I used to tell my kids, motherfucker, a cat with my skin tone may get away with it, but a cat with yours may not. And at the end of the day, if you don't think those motherfuckers with this skin tone talk to each other to keep your son out of a portal possibility, you out your mind, brother. I'm just telling you, I'm giving you free game, homie. I'm just keeping it real with you, dog.
You're not
keep your son out of the portal now.
You're not giving me game that I don't know. Hence why I pulled his ass to the side right away and had the conversation of, bro, we messed up here. You've been in the media since you were in 5th grade, and you had one slip up, but dog, here it is. And again, we're not arguing if the act was wrong. What I'm saying is it was how it was approached about the parents and how he's being parented. And y'all are saying, nah, y'all are at fault. Y'all are the problem here. Hell no, he made a mistake at 16. And now my job as a father is to go fix that mistake with him and go make sure he doesn't do that kind of situation, have that kind of situation again. You know, and I keep saying this. We don't argue the fact that not a good look. I don't think anybody in our side of the circle would say, yeah, that was the best look. But I will say a lot of people thought it was funny. Yep. And a lot of people are angry about it. And I go off and like I told Trae, whether you thought it was funny or whether or not you offended one person, it wasn't the best thing to do. It wasn't the best thing to do.
Smitty, I know you guys. Here's the issue.
Yeah, I'm just letting y'all because he was specifically calling or responding.
Yeah.
So yeah, you said I'm letting y'all go.
I want to ask JR. I want to ask you this. Here's the issue I have. Like, we've seen this before. We've seen kids do this for some years now. And when I first saw the very first one, I went ham and I was like, what the hell are we doing? Whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. I'm sure your son saw that, and it's over the years. It's happened multiple times at All-Star games, at the Shrine game, at the Army game. We got guys doing that old okey doke shit. Here's my issue: like, did the kid not learn from those things and wants to be different and be better than that, or what? Are we going to continue to do it? Is he going to be a game changer or just a game player? Like, I don't. That's what and it's not your issue per se, but I know I'm glad you're correcting it. But I'm just saying, if I continue to see something and then I go do it, I'm like, dog, if I'm the recruiter, I'm like, is this cat a leader or a follower? Because I don't know if I want my cat to do that. That's all I'm saying. I'm just giving you a perspective.
I think we can answer that. He's a follower or he's a leader for sure. He's 100% a leader. But I think what happened in this situation was he made a mistake. And I'm going to keep saying that. Like, he made a mistake. And we're talking about, the kids in front of him. What was the last kid that actually did that you can actually remember?
A kid at the Army game did it a couple last year or the year before on the sideline. Travis Hunter did it.
He did it. And so Trae wasn't watching that stuff at that time. You know what I'm saying? Like, he wasn't really watching that stuff. Just like kids behind him right now are going to know better to do that, like to do this situation. But there's going to be a kid 5 to 7 years down the road that might do the same thing. Yeah. Not seeing.
Brother, I got to disagree with you, brother. I got to disagree. These things right here are resumes. They don't ever go away. There's a screenshot of something and there's a video somewhere out there. It's too big of a deal for people to say they didn't see it or don't know about it.
It's a big deal for, like, who have you known to get backlash like this though?
Well, every year is more prevalent with social media and cell phones. I mean, look what happened with the whole, the kid that got stabbed at the track meet, and the lady that's out there saying the N-word, and she getting money. I mean, social media is just
that's the gift that comes of social media. Just for whatever reason, your son clip blew up for whatever reason. So so we talk about it.
And again, correct. And I understand. That's what I'm saying. Like, as you go through this, more people are going to learn and learn and learn. And I think in this situation, what's going to happen is people are going to see this and say, dang, I watched what happened to Trae Taylor. Yeah, I probably am not going to go down that route. But up until then, you haven't seen this kind of backlash. Again, I want to make it clear. He did it. We understand he did it. We're not saying it's not right that he did it.
Yeah.
What I'm saying, though, now, as a kid who made a mistake, got on social media right after that, and he hadn't even seen social media yet. So he didn't even know what was actually taking place. It was a conversation him and I had. And then when he got on social media, he sat down and he said, oh, that was really bad. Like, really bad. but he had already apologized. And I don't even know if you guys knew that at that point, that he had already apologized within 30 minutes of doing the damn hat thing from the conversation that him and I had. And that
let me ask you. Let me ask you this. You're making the apology thing a bigger deal to me than it has to be. Here's the issue. What changed since he apologized? Not a fucking thing, brother. Nothing.
You're wrong. You're wrong. Because a lot of people.
You want me to apologize to you for saying a word that you thought I used out of context to assassinate or attack your family, which I did not do, but I understand it. I do.
You did. And you did do that.
So you want me to apologize, but what is that going to do?
I don't want you to apologize. You be who you are. What I'm saying is this man, he made a mistake and made an apology for him. He admitted, I made a mistake, my fault. And it had a lot of people have reached out and said, yes, you made a mistake. Move on. Good luck to everything else. That has changed a lot of the narrative because they're like, oh, dang, he is a kid. He did make a mistake. He apologized for it. Move on. Now let's move on from this. So that did take place. And that did change a lot of people's perspective of, oh, nah, like this is really just a kid being a kid. And when you keep saying I'm making it about the apology, what I'm making it about is him growing from the mistake. He grew from it. Within minutes, he grew from it. And what you guys, and what I keep trying to bring up, what we keep going back to the hat thing is, what I called in wasn't about the hat situation. It was how you perceived his parents and his peer or his circle on how he's being raised. And everybody that's got their hands on this boy is very, very, when I talk about what kind of people they are and how they go about doing things as far as raising this kid, I'm going to tell you, this might be the biggest issue he have ever had at this point. This one thing, and it's throwing a hat. It's throwing a hat. Coach, you brought it up to saying this could lead to robbing people, stealing. Come on, bro. We went from a hat to stealing and committing actual crimes for a 16-year-old.
I don't remember that. It had to be out of context from what you're talking about because I wouldn't have even correlated the two.
So then that goes. So if we're saying I don't remember calling you bitches, I don't remember all the other stuff, then what are we talking about then? So because you all say it's for clickbait. So then what I gotta say then is, where are our kids learning this from, Coach JB? They're watching you all, and you guys are doing stuff for clickbait.
When you say you guys, real quick, a lot of the stuff you've been saying has been pointed at JB. Before you go, what did I say that rubbed you the wrong way? If anything,
what you said. So for you,
I called it corny, which I still agree with that. I think it was corny. I don't think I disrespected. I don't think I called you or your wife, anybody out of their name. I'm just trying to make sure we're on the same page.
No. We're on the same page until you went and started talking about you can't play. Who are you? You can't. You haven't. Who are you?
Well, I think he meant he ain't played yet, is what he meant.
He said he's no good. You ain't even that good. That was exactly what you said. You ain't even that good. Go back and look at the video. But
we were talking like the whole clip. You got to watch the whole show. So here's what happened. If you're talking about a kid that has yet to play it down in college football, is when he said, you haven't even done anything yet. Just like we started the show with today with Abdul Carter asking for Lawrence Taylor's jersey number. You ain't even played it down in the NFL yet. That's what we were discussing overall. So if it gets massaged in there, I get it.
Yeah, but you said he ain't good yet. You ain't even good. Like, you ain't good.
Listen, we're talking about college, though, where he actually committed to. He's not good yet. He hadn't played it down yet.
No. That's not how that was put. It was, we couldn't hear it, blah, blah, blah. You ain't even good. And then he went to, you haven't even played it down in college yet. Bro, none of these high school kids have played it down in college yet. So we're going to say none of
which is why I agree that none of them should be going out there like this. Any of them. This ain't pointing at just your son. I don't think any of those kids should be doing that. I played college ball. I understand it. There's no way. Right. Okay, then. So I'm saying, and to your earlier point, yeah, all kids make mistakes. Of course. Duh. Of course. Our parents will tell us something. Well, hey, don't leave the neighborhood, and you still go do it. That stuff happens. I get it. But I'm gonna be real with you. Like, if my mom and my dad is right, and my coach is right here with me, and my mom just told me, hey boy, we're not doing that. It's a bad luck, boom, boom, boom. And then I still go do it. I don't know. I'm just saying, I'm not saying he's a bad kid. I'm just saying, like, damn, like where's the respect in that situation? To where I couldn't picture myself in that situation where my
So what's
parents
the
right
difference?
with me, like, and they just told me to do something, I just do it. I'm just being real with you.
To me, what's the difference? You still disobeyed your parent. The difference is my son's not gonna sneak to do it. He's just gonna
I
do
hear
it.
you.
He's
I
just not
hear
gonna
you.
sneak to do it. He's gonna do it. So what's the difference? You're still disobeying your parent. That's it.
But let me ask you, like, let me. We're stuck on this apology thing. So I don't know anyone that
I
at
haven't
least
talked about apology again. I haven't talked about the
no.
apology.
Here's what I'm saying. I think you're missing my point though. Like, so the kid goes out there, he does what he does, and then, oh shit, I did that. Hey, I want to apologize. I ain't never seen a cat do something and then say, oh, I'm gonna apologize immediately. Why do it then? Like, to me, it doesn't make any sense on how it happened.
Because it was brought to his attention, he disrespected some people. Like, that's the whole thing. It was brought to his attention, bro. You disrespected people in this situation. That's my fault. I did not mean to do that. That's why he apologized. He disrespected someone and did not mean to.
So look, let me ask you something. If a coach went in there and offered him a scholarship, and then 10 minutes later said, I'm just fucking with you, we really ain't offering you shit. And then the next coach came and did the same thing. Like, isn't that the same thing that we're talking about right here? Like, this is a game. Like, this is a game. Now you're saying he's an adult or versus a kid. Like,
absolutely not. It's not the
I'm
same
just saying.
thing.
You see what this is setting up, though, right? Because if I'm offering, I'm gonna start fucking with kids now. If I'm offering a scholarship.
Okay, so what's the difference from coaches coming in and say, hey, I'm going to offer you, and I offer you, and then they call and say, coach, I want to come. Oh, well, wait a second.
Maybe because the kid says, I committed, and then later on says, hey, God told me to decommit.
Come on, coach. Come on,
man.
Coach.
These cats got to be held to some sort of standard at some point, dog.
Coach, you asked the question. You said, what if a coach comes in and offers and then says, I'm not? That's happening every day. They're offering all these kids all these scholarships, and then these kids try to commit, and they say, well, hang on. So let's not act like that's not happening. But in this situation, coach, this is the thing where Illinois didn't know Trae wasn't coming. He called Illinois in advance and said, coach, I'm not coming. I'm going to another school. He did that in advance. So no one was sitting there at Illinois and said, oh, I hope he comes. I hope he comes. No, they knew he was already not coming. But again, you keep talking about the apology and all that. I'm talking about how you perceive his circle as people who are raising him. And the kid made a mistake, and you're saying, well, why apologize? Because it offended somebody. That's how when you offend somebody, you apologize. Coach, you disagree with that. You're saying, no, fuck it. I said it. It is what it is.
So wait, he knew about it, but did it. And the team knew that he wasn't coming, but then he did it for the nation to see. I don't understand.
What are you talking about?
Say it again. I'm lost. You said that he called Bill.
He said he called Bill and told him that he wasn't going there,
and then did it
just so he knows that, hey, I'm not coming there.
And then did it after y'all said don't do
it. So you're jumping all over the place. Are you saying are you more concerned about us saying, hey, we're not going to do that, or the fact that he called coach already?
No, I'm just being clear so I know. You're saying the kid called Bill in Illinois and said, we're not coming. We're going to Nebraska, right?
Correct.
Boom.
Then did the presser and did the hat throw.
Right. Correct.
And then in between that time, your mom or your wife told him not to do that.
Correct.
All right. I don't know why that's jumping all over, but that's the chronological order, correct?
Because I'm trying to figure out what Bielema and them having to know, like, how does that affect? Because I'm saying it wasn't for them. It wasn't I'm worried. I'm thinking he's coming here. I'm thinking the letdown.
You don't see that's a bad optic, though. You don't see that as a bad optic,
Coach.
For the nation,
Coach. I said already that was not a good look. That wasn't good. Hence, Trae, that wasn't good. Go, like, you need to take care of this. My bad. Let me go apologize. We keep talking about. I'm talking about what you guys did, because no one's disagreeing with how it looked, what it was. Yeah. I'm talking about their coach. Oh, I hate white mothers. Your parents are bitches. You're not even good in the first place. Like, the parents aren't doing what they're supposed to be doing. That's what I'm talking about. Because there's great white mothers everywhere. There are parents who parent, and you make this mistake. Now I'm going to come in and you're going to deal with me on the mistake, on the back end. Now let's see if you make that mistake again. Because if you make that mistake again, now that's who you really are. and we got a bigger problem with that. If we fix the problem in the first place, all right, good. It's a mistake. It's a real mistake. Let's move on. That's it. And for me in this distance, that's all I'm trying to say is understand. Parents sometimes don't know everything that's taking place, and when it does take place, guess what?
You gotta react.
Hey, JR.
Hey, on the side note, I do listen. I respect you as a man, as a father, for having the courage, whatever, to go in here, speak up, defend your son, defend the situation. You gave us more context that obviously there's no way we would have had because we're not in those rooms with y'all.
Correct.
So we appreciate that. I'm gonna go back and listen to the full segment to hear exactly what I said. I know what I was trying to say is that at the end of the day, ain't none of y'all proven yet to be going out here throwing hats. So that's what I thought I said, but I'm gonna go back and watch the whole segment to see exactly what I said from my end. Like you said, JB's not gonna. I know you don't care now. I'm just giving you context. He's not gonna apologize, not because of you, because that just if you know JB, like he literally just don't do it. It has nothing to do with you personally. That just he don't do it. Yeah.
And JR, I gotta be honest, and we got another guest, so we wrap it up. I can't thank you enough. Here's the issue. I got D1 coaches texting me right now watching the show. Mm-hmm. And I'm gonna be honest with you, and I'm not gonna say no names, but these cats in the NIL era, where these kids can get generational wealth right now as a kid, there's a standard now that these kids aren't kids no more. These are grown men now punching a clock just like you and I did for our lives. And I'm 9 to 5 now. I'm on a clock. I got a different standard now to be held to do some shit like this, which Smitty said corny is exactly what a text message just said. And man, it's corny because I don't want no corny kid that I got to pay $150,000 scholarship to just on the academic side, then get a collective to give $1 million to. I mean, just thinking about it. Go ahead.
Coach, I agree, but so we can't talk from both sides of our mouths. Right? We said, hey, you're not good. You haven't played a rep in college yet. And then say, but we hold you to the same accountability as a college kid right now. We can't do
that's what it is when you get paid, brother.
but he's not getting paid yet. He's still in high school. He's still in high school.
No, but a scholarship is still dollars. It's 100,000 plus.
That he can't touch until he graduates, correct?
Yes, of course. But I'm just saying you got a scholarship offer to go to school. Just say that he don't even get a collective. Let's just say no NIL. Let's talk about brass tacks. Academically, he's getting $150,000 scholarship. That was my whole point. He's getting dollars now, and then he's going to go get a collective to say, hey, this is some dollars we're going to give you, dog. This is grown man business now. So I'm just saying, this ain't no more street agency. Go ahead.
Do you think those same coaches are going to then say, let me go look at this boy's background. Let me go look at this boy's, like, has he had any other instances? Because the boy can throw a damn ball. He's super intelligent. He has a great work ethic. Those same coaches, you think they're going to say, let me go see if there's any other instances, or is this just the one-off? How would they do that?
Right. They're going to look at his total resume, and they're going to say that this is an overall good kid.
Yes.
Well, what they do now is the room for error is not the same as it was. Like, now you fart in the wind and I smell it. Guess where I go? To what's called the portal, to about, guess how many? 130 plus quarterbacks sitting in there. I don't got to go get high school kids no more. Correct. So, like, the room for error is much smaller than what you think, dog. Because now you fuck up and I go get a portal kid who's played 4 years, homie. I'm just being honest. The kids, if I'm the coach up there on the podium, I'm embarrassed, dog, because you embarrassed my fucking high school program by doing what you did when I got to get the next Trae a scholarship to play quarterback and not get a guy to move around the portal 5 times when I could just go now pluck the portal. That's why high school recruiting is so bad. That's why JUCO football is imploding, because the portal. And I'm just telling you, unless we change it, dog, it ain't going to get better.
No, disagree. But we're talking about a kid now who has picked his school. So we're not. And if Trae happens to jump in the portal, he's going to be one of those quarterbacks that has been in college now for multiple years that you're talking about. So I get it. I understand what you're saying as far as it didn't look good. We all agreed on that from jump. And
ultimately, that's my only point. I'm not saying the kid's a bad kid. I don't know him. I can't call him a bad kid, and everything you're saying, it sounds like he's a great kid. And
I said it was a shitbird move. That's all I said. It was a shitbird move is what I said. Yeah. I'm just looking at it on the. Yeah. I got the video over here. I know I said it's a shitbird move. which it is. It's a shitbird move. I never said the kid. I didn't say the kid was a shitbird, criminal. I never went at that. If we joke around and say what we do on the show, this show is very loose, as you probably know, and we fuck around. But I've never. There's a reason why every one of my players come on my show that I coach. Like, there's obviously something deeper than what you see me say fucking around on the show. You know what I'm saying? So obviously, kids know. I got kids in the chat right now, quarterbacks that play for me. So I'm just saying.
I love it. I love it. My thing is, though, you're saying shit. I offended you. I was joking around, and I'm saying shit. He offended somebody. He was joking around. One difference is you're a grown man. He's a kid. That is the difference.
Yeah, that is the difference.
That is the difference. He's a grown man. You're a grown man's kid. So I appreciate y'all getting on, because that was my big thing. Again, shitbird of a move. I would have never even reached out. I'd have looked at it and said, "I told you. Like, you were right. Like, it's a shitbird of a move." But all the other stuff of this leads to this and this would.
Yeah.
No, that was too much for me. And my big thing is, hey, I hate white mothers. I got a lot of players that have white mothers that are great mothers who bust their ass for their kids, and that. Well,
I already know. I already know that's true. I mean, come on now. Yeah. I've been coaching. Yeah. This ain't my first barbecue. I'm fucking around. I got a great white mother. Yeah. Come on. Hey, man, much love to you for coming on, man, and being cordial with this thing. And I love that we could have a disagreement and talk. And listen, from the bottom of my heart, I wish your son the best of luck, man. And I truly do. I would never wish any bad will towards a kid. I hope he learns, moves on, gets it done, and I hope the next kid
I'll be ball out.
learn. Yeah, I hope he balls out. Shit, I love to have him on the show. So it is what it is. I appreciate you, brother, and be safe out there. I know you're in Chi-Town in Chicago, and stay safe in them streets, and appreciate you.
Stop by Harold's Chicken if you can. Appreciate you.
I always do. So that's why I'm too big as it is. So
all right, brother. Appreciate you.
All right, man. Have a good one. Clap it up, man, for JR. Respect.